This is just a sample listing presentation. You can go online, you can find all kinds of different ones. There's a lot of free ones, you can pay for one. So it's not really important what it looks like. As long as you get one, they're all good. So just pick one whichever one you like. And basically, I'm going to kind of go through this sample one, like how I would do it at an actual listing presentation, and also give a little bit of insight on how to handle it just in general. So, any questions throughout this, just yell or something. So first off, it's very, very important to know when it comes to listing presentations that you need to know who it is that you're going to be presenting to, and you want to match their enthusiasm. Meaning, if there's somebody that you know really well, you're not competing, you probably don't need to go as far as doing this full-on presentation. Instead, if you disagree with something or want to have any feedback anytime, go ahead and step in. This is just how I do it. Because a lot of the time, half the time, I don't do a head presentation. My presentation is showing up, saying, "Hey, awesome. I'm gonna walk through, and I just want to look at the house. I tell them, hey, have a pen and paper ready. I'm gonna give you some notes on what needs to happen for this to be show ready." And usually that's half the time that's what I do. I go to the house, I'm putting eyes on it, so that way I know exactly what I'm getting involved in with other stuff, and meet them in person, that whole bit, and I'm just basically walking through, looking at everything, asking questions, does this work, does that work, and I'm just really familiarizing myself with that property, to then be able to go run comps. But if it's a little bit more formal, so if you're competing against other agents, and you know that you're competing against other agents, that is different. You don't just walk in there and half-ass it. You have to look as professional as possible, and you're going to walk in and you're going to knock it out of the park and do a full-on formal listing presentation, and you're going to do what I'm going to show you today. Any questions about that? Okay, no questions. So, you guys want to do this and what not to? Kind of clear? You want to match the enthusiasm, okay? So even through the actual formal presentation, you still match the enthusiasm. If you have somebody that's very, very talkative, very, very detailed, very, very wanting to know what numbers are, specifics on what you're going to do, all that stuff, you need to match that. So give them information. If they're wanting it, overload them. You got to overwhelm them a little bit. Okay? If they want details and they're asking all kinds of questions, that's what you're going to give it to them. And you're going to go a little more in depth on this stuff. If you have something that's more passive, and there's something like Sarah who doesn't give a crap about all the details, they just want you to get through it. They just want you to get through it, and you're going to go back really quickly. It's going to change from person to person. Does that make sense? So, generally, with a normal person that's not to the extreme of one or the other, this is what I do. I will usually have this, I don't print this out. I usually just have this on an iPad or on my computer, and I have it through presentation, or like PowerPoint or whatever app that you're going to use to pull this up and go through it. Okay? So you'll pull it up, and this will be your front page, so it looks all really nice, or the front, clip or whatever. And you're going to say, okay, so you're going to sit down with them and say, so still, even when you're doing this presentation, you still want to walk to the house first. Okay, so that part doesn't change. You still come in, introduce yourself, say, hi, if you don't mind, I'm gonna look through the house, just kind of look at stuff, maybe you can take a couple notes, I'll tell you what we need to do to get this thing show ready, and I'll ask you some questions. And then after that, I can kind of talk to you about what I can do. And then they'll say yes, and then you come in, and you do your little walkthrough, you give them a couple pointers, sound like the expert, look like the expert, and then you get down, when you're done with your walkthrough, you say, okay, awesome, is there a place we can sit? And then they'll say, oh, yeah, let's go over here. And you'll go to the kitchen table or wherever, and you'll sit down, and you'll pull this up and say, okay, cool. So what I want to do is just run you through basically what I have to offer, what I'm going to do, what kind of sets me apart from other agents, and I'll go through that and then see if you have any questions, and we'll go from there. They'll say, okay. Then you sit down, you pull this up, and you say, okay. All right, so this is my sales and marketing proposal for your property. Then you go to the next page. So in preparation for this, all of these look the same. All you're doing is going in there and you're changing the seller's information counts for the house that you're doing, obviously, right? You're going to put the house that you're going to, you put that address, you put their name. Yes? I don't. No. You can, if you want to, sure, you can, but I do that. Yeah, if you have. Most of the time you're not going to have it, so. So you say, this page pops up and says, okay, I created this for you. And you go to the next slide. This page, it's got the options based on it. What we have. This page, so this is really important. You're not reading off of this. You're not looking at this and reading it like it's a report or an essay or anything like that. This is a presentation. This slide is just to give you a quick visual of what you're going to talk about right now for the next 10 seconds. Okay? So when this page pops up, this is you telling about yourself. So when this page pops up, I see it, I go, okay, so first off, I just want to tell you a little bit about my experience, what I've done. I've been in the business for this amount of time. Whatever it is, it's going to make you look at it. Yes, what if you're a new agent? If you're a new agent, say that I've been involved in the real estate industry for a really long time, and guess what? It's not a lie. It's not a lie because if you live on Zillow, you better pay attention to houses and involved in the real estate industry, so you're not lying. So when I first started, my stepdad was a contractor. I always looked stuff on Zillow, all that stuff. So I always told people I didn't specifically tell them I've been licensed this amount of time because I've been licensed for 15 months. So I would say I've been around the industry for a very long time. I'm very well, I'm very well, whatever, I'm good. Very familiar with the industry. And you'll just tell yourself how to begin. I've sold a lot of properties in this area. I'm very good at marketing. I'm really good at my social medias. I can find what I do. Just tell yourself a little bit. If you can't figure out how to tell yourself, then there's a different meeting you need to have, right? So talk about yourself really quick. Make them feel comfortable. This is where you're not lying and say I sold, 100 properties. Yeah, don't lie. You lie. Because they can check that out. Yeah. So that's what this slide is. Just talk about yourself. What you're trying to accomplish with this page is that you are capable of representing. It's very important that they understand that you're capable. You don't want them to think you're so new to this, this is their first listing. You can't communicate that. That's not what we're doing. So on this one, you have to accomplish and make them feel comfortable with, okay, I've got somebody that knows what they're doing. Period. Okay? Any questions on this slide? Zoom people, any questions on this slide? Or the video? Oh, there's being frozen. This camera? Okay, next page, if nobody has any questions. Okay, so this, why all this information is valuable to the girl, right? You're not going to sit there and read it or any of that stuff. Because a lot of times you're talking, sometimes you're talking to you, and sometimes you're looking at this while you're talking to it. Okay? So you've got a little tree, it's got some on there just in case that's what this person's doing. So the next page, I look at it, I say pricing strategy. I don't look at this anymore. I know what I'm talking about. I know my pricing strategy. So on this page, I go, okay, pricing strategy. So what I've had a lot of success with, where you can say you've never done a deal and you're we've had a lot of success with. Now you're not like. What we've had a lot of success with pricing strategy is that there's a lot of realtors that will list for whatever their clients want them to list for. They're just trying to do whatever they can do to get the listing. I don't do that. What I do is I'm familiar with how appraisers appraise. I've talked to appraisers, you can say whatever you want with the appraisers. I'm familiar with the appraising process, and I know how they do it. So I try to align myself as closely as possible to get to their minimum range where I think this house is worth on paper. I find that is nice on the conservative side. I want to be a little bit on the lower end of where I think it's going to land. And the reason why I do that is because if I overshoot it, and I list this property too high, you are going to suffer. It's going to be on the market less people are going to look at it. It's going to be on the market longer. This process is going to get drawn out. Maybe you'll get an offer, maybe you'll get 2 offers, and maybe it takes a month before you get to your price reduction, and then you end up getting stuck with an offer that is probably at or below where this thing is really worth. And then they're also asking for closing costs, which is another $7,000 to $10,000, and now you just left a whole lot of money on the table. Okay, if I listen too low, if my price is a little bit too low, guess what? We're okay, we're rewarded. Now it increases the odds. I don't ever say this is exactly what's going to happen. I always say you're not going to go about yourself in the corner. But I'll say it increases the odds of multiple offers. And in this market, multiple offers means leverage. Means that you can go up in price. If somebody is going to write an offer, an agent calls me and says, Chris, we're going to write an offer. Do you have anything? And I tell them, yes, I have 3 offers. What do you think they're going to do? Come in at list price? No. They're going to tell their clients, we need to fight for this. There's 3 offers. Now the price goes up. This is my pricing strategy. I've had a ton of success with it. Actually, look at our sales if you have your guys' situation. All my stuff goes above, or most of it goes above this price. I've had a ton of success with this, and this is the quickest way to get top dollar and be able to give us leverage to negotiate the best deal for you. When we have multiple offers, we don't need multiple great offers. We just need one good offer, and we're able to use these other ones that this person's going to come in higher. And it also makes a buyer feel better whenever they get a house that they know that they got 4 other offers on. Now it's a confirmation in there. This is something good. Multiple people want this. They're willing to fight more for it. If there's no offers and it's just one person, they're like, I'm missing something. What's wrong with this place? I really want this place. Nobody else does. So, no, we'll take it and we'll get closing costs. And then they'll take this price right here. You don't want to be in that situation. This is what you tell me. This is what you tell them. You just communicate that. You understand that concept, you internalize it, and you communicate that to them. That's our pricing strategy. Any questions with that?
Is there such things too low though? Almost like an
The only way that you can hurt a client by listing too low is if you list it low and then you accept something from it. That's the only way to hurt someone. So if I list it, I'm like, oh, this could be one price a little bit different. On paper it's this, but I don't know if buyers are going to do that. So we're going to come really conservative. We're going to come in low, and then if an offer comes in within a day, and you accept it before anybody else has a chance to do anything. Now you just left money out. You just screwed that.
You didn't expose it to the market.
You didn't expose it to the market properly. So, anytime I'm talking to sellers, and oftentimes I hear this, they'll say, yeah, I'll tell them about how it's a seller's market. They'll say, yeah, I know, my neighbor down there, it went up, and the next day it was gone. Yeah, it's sold for hours.
My neighbor called, if I can find out, they sold too low then.
Yeah. When they tell me that, I say, well, that's not happening. They're like, that's an agent that is no good doing. That's right. That agent left money on the table. Yours is going to do that. It's going to take me about a week. I'm going to list. I need 3 or 4 days to negotiate offers, and if I have showings, I'm not accepting something if I've got 4 showings. That's stupid. We don't do that. What would you do if this was your house that you were selling? You had 4 showings on it, and you had a couple offers. You can accept something. Who knows? Maybe there's a cash offer that's going to do something stupid with their offer. It's going to be a huge payday. For example, I had my taxi one that I'm putting in escrow today. Okay, I had 4 offers sold, 3 offers. I had some good ones. They were good. There was cash, like $13,000 above cash. Another one had a clause. What do they call those clauses? An acceleration clause. They're going to go $5,000 above any other offer, up to $400,000. I listed it at $370. And I'm thinking, okay, this is good. I had a couple showings. I'm kind of taking my time. And guess what happens the day before I go to present offers? $410,000 comes through. $40,000 above. No appraisal contingency. Holy shit, these people, wow. I could have easily put $25,000 left it on the table. And I'm not taking my time. This is what we got to take our time. You don't want to do something too quickly. Okay? So you communicate that. Keep your client on this one. Then you go to the next one.
You don't want to wait too long though.
Yeah, you don't want to wait too long because there's a period of time. It's a good point. So, for example, if I had people off, you start taking people off, then you could get, this really good offer that you're like eating on, but you're waiting for something else, and you can book. No. Then you can lose this person. They'll be like, oh, they found something else. They're done messing around. And all of a sudden now you have some shitty offers. You don't want to do that. So you got to fill it out. It needs to be done within time. It doesn't take 2 weeks. It takes about 3 to 4 days of kind of maybe talking to agents and offers coming in. feeling them out type thing, or they dug you out, whatever. It doesn't take longer than that. So a week max. Getting offers within a day or two is max a week. Of figuring all that stuff out. If somebody writes an offer on day 1 or 2, they're gonna understand. An agent that's busy is gonna understand that look, they get it very, very fast. You have showing, it's a hot property, they're gonna get it. So, but you want to be respectful of that 3-day time to respond, because you're gonna be in that agent's shoes more often than you're in the listing agent side, unless you're Sarah Cattle. And you want to be respectful of that. So, next page. Oh, hold on. Anybody on Zoom that has a question so far? Oscar? Put your pants on. What are you doing? Okay, marketing strategy. This is really easy. So look at this. I don't read off of it. I don't sit there and tell them, exactly what to say on here. I don't. This is from their eyes. This is just a reference point for me to know what I'm going to talk about next. The next thing I'm going to talk about is marketing strategy. I'll point at staging and say, staging, we don't have to do that right now because it's still not market, it's not necessary. It's an expenditure that doesn't to pay for it. The staging that we're going to do is with what you have. Okay, so I'm going to walk through the house. I know, this is what you tell them. I know, I've shown so many houses that I can tell you what the average buyer is going to think as they come through, and I'm going to give you pointers on how to set your house up with what you have that's going to make it show the best. Okay, I have that experience. Photography, tell them. It's one of my pet peeves is a house that has crappy pictures. I don't like it. I'm OCD with it. I want my pictures perfect. So I hire professional photographers. This house will look the best possible online. Print, digital media, and networks. You'll tell them that we have our brokerage has some of the best technology with resources for printing off really good materials, whether it's postcards. I don't know if I'm getting any postcards. This might be sold before I need to get those out. But between that, flyers, I'm partnering up with lenders and doing some really good marketing material as well. I'm gonna use that marketing material to go onto social media and show it off. It's gonna look very, very professional. And then I go to the next page. And then I reiterate a couple times throughout this. Reminder, Miss or Mr. Seller, if you have any questions through this, interrupt me and stop me. Any questions that you may have? Do you have any questions? No? Okay, cool. Next one. Marketing strategy continued. Open houses. Okay, when I think of open house, I think of a realtor that's working it. Okay? I don't think of a lazy agent whenever I think of open houses. So when I see open houses on here, I tell them also, there's a lot of agents that will just put a sign in the front yard, let somebody else sell it, collect their money, and move on. I'm not one of those agents. I'm an agent that's going to work hard to get as many offers as possible, and to try to bring something myself to make this as smooth and easy as possible for you that I can. So open houses. If you are comfortable with it, I would like to schedule an open house on here to get more people through your house. I'll sit here and I'll let people come through, and it gives me more of an opportunity to meet buyers that may be interested in your house. And 80% of the time they'll be okay with it, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they don't want me to walk through. They don't want to, or they're busy on the weekend, they don't want to do that. That's fine. But you'll let them know that this is the kind of agent that you are. You're a hardworking agent. You're going to do that. Custom property website. Do we have? Do we do that? Do we have like does Webb still do the property website? He does, right? Okay, so you let them know we have a custom property website. Does it go on the writers? No, I think it used to. Didn't it used to have something? I thought it was a QR code or something like that.
For each individual house or for him? Oh, that was that thing we used to do, but that was an extra expense.
Not for us.
Yes, it is. No, that one we did up at Keller. That was, yeah, we thought about something else.
Yeah, and you can do the link and send it to people and stuff like that. But, and then you're going to say website exposure. We have our own website. We have our own web page online with social media. Your property will be featured on our own custom platforms as well. Then I go to the next page.
And we have that for downtown website, right?
Yeah, they automatically go on the downtown.
It's also on your city profile, city website, so like, instead of you learning more stuff domain, website, it's our features up there. As well as we also highlight those on our Instagram and Facebook. So we have two websites for the papers, right? Uptown and then the one on. Which is the same one and the right, which is the downtown.
Okay, world-class marketing materials. Let them know. We take pride in the way that our brokerage takes pride in how we present ourselves. Our signs are beautiful. We do not have the little crappy little signs. You don't have to say crappy. I say crappy. It's very disrespectful. So we let them know. We don't put the little tiny little stick, frames in with a bad sign. The brokers invested a lot of time and money into our logo and everything looking very professional. So all of our signs have a big, beautiful white PVC post with a gorgeous sign. That looks good. We've already kind of touched on the open house flyers that I would do. After we sell it, there's going to be postcards to go around because we did that free with using all in California. So our signage looks good. Everything's going to be presented to the top. This is to the, what do they call it, the 9? It's marketed to the 9. So you're letting them know that you're kind of reinforcing your digital marketing that drives results. This is going to be on your marketplace and all the digital marketing that we have is excellent. So you're just kind of reiterating that on this one.
There's nothing worse than a crappy sign in front of a nice house. You drive up and it sets the tone and you're like, oh, the agent just didn't even take the time to put a decent sign up in front of this house.
Right. And then on this one here, why downtown realty? That's one of the easiest slides that you guys should have. Okay? Why downtown realty? In our office, we have one of the biggest offices in Tulare County. One of the biggest, you can say that, right? Sure, you can say that. We have one of the biggest offices in downtown realty. Our brokers have been very, very involved. All of us agents, we all help each other. We have a plethora of knowledge and experience that we all share with each other. The culture that we have is very family-oriented, and it's like we're a family. And we help each other out. We all care about everybody doing really well. We're very conscious of that. Everybody's so nice, and we have a great track record. Yeah, so between our knowledge, our teamwork, the technology that we have, our broker invests time and money into everything that is provided for us for resources for making sure that every house is being marketed properly. We have 100% support in her. She'll do whatever she can to help us do the best we can, and that has helped us stand out from all the other brokerages. I can tell you right now that our brokerage is very, very different than anything else that's in this area. What we have is very much a superior quality brokerage of people, atmosphere. We all help each other, and our track record has shown that. We're reliable. We've been in this. Most of the agents in this office we've all been in. Our experience is very much in this area. We know this area very well.
It's just kind of a fully staffed office.
Fully staffed office. There you go. You just have downtown realty and your association with downtown realty. We're one of the best in the area, and our reputation shows that. And then you go to the last one. You say, any questions? Any questions? What are your thoughts? I love that question. What are your thoughts? No matter what we're talking about, whether it's the price, whether it's the comps we just showed them, whether it's them signing your listing agreement, no matter what it is, you can always say, what are your thoughts? So, what are your thoughts? You ready to rock and roll? You ready to do this? You ready to sign up? What's your time frame? You ready to do this? So you go directly, when this thing's done, you go directly to, okay, any questions? What's our time frame? When are we going to be ready to do this?
If they say, well, we're interviewing agents and we want to talk to everybody and we'll get back to you. What's your next step after that? Like you leave, and then what do you do?
Okay, so if they tell me that at the end of this presentation, that they're going to have some other realtors.
Like, what's your follow-up if you don't get a commitment for a listing right now?
I say, okay, I would say something like, okay, no problem. I encourage you to talk to some other agents too, because I already know that what I do is superior to what I know that most agents are going to offer. So when are those done? When are those going to be over? They're going to tell you, well, I got a appointment, go ahead. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you on Monday. I'm confident that you're going to take me because I know these agents, or you can ask them the agent who like you might ask who like the agents. You can ask that. You're looking to see that. Find out what they're doing then. This is what I would say. You may have a different strategy here. Just find out whatever they're doing with it and say, okay, cool. I'll be following up with you then, and I'll be ready. I'm ready to go with you. What would you say? Something like that. There you go. No, hold on. Before you ask that, I do want you guys to know and understand the assumptive close. This is a strategy that I've adopted. When you do all this, the whole mindset should be there is nobody else. You're their agent. You are going to be representing them, your thought or idea, and then whenever you reference another agent and through your spiel, like you say another agent will do this, that's what I do that. You have your hand gestures that this is what I'm going to do. Other in an emotional way, you can say other agents. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to blah, 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 whatever you're going to say. Other in an emotional way. That way, I don't know. There's gold by that.
And I think you could also do like if I have an agent, or if I'm doing that, and I'll say something like, oh. Yeah, it's good to interview other agents. You've got to find what's a good fit for you. Like you've got to make I care about you. I want you to have what's the best fit for you. Obviously, it's me, but but I've said that to people, and it kind of takes the they're not like you're not ramming it down their throat. All that she cares about me, but she wants the best fit. But with everything you've already given them, they're going to know you're the best fit.
Yeah, and if you know you're competing, you hit him with this, chances are
they know that. People are that prepared.
They're not going to be
Yeah, they're not going to be that prepared.
And then you do something close where you're just assuming this is yours, you got this in the bag, you're representing them, you guys are a teammate in this. But now I will say this, don't bad mouth their agents.
No.
That's one of the best ways to turn somebody off. Like, no. Like you're like, oh, Quinn? Oh, she's horrible. She didn't care about you. What are you gonna do? No. This person's the seller's gonna be like, I don't know if I like that. Because they're not gonna remember everything you say, they'll remember how they felt.
Right. I remember the negative when we talked about it.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Yeah, what were you gonna say?
There's also a marketing step. Remember that 14th step marketing plan that I've done? And I've done it with my picture at the top, and it's a marketing plan. And it's already the stuff we do, but I'll tell them, I've made this marketing plan for you. Well, shit, it's what I do for everybody, but they don't know that. And at least they feel like you have an agenda, you have a plan, professional pictures, great signage. I belong to 3 MLSs, whatever it is, go through and put that on your marketing plan, open houses. Just listed postcards, whatever it is, they have it in front of them. You're like, oh yeah, look at what she's gonna do. And the other people are winging it, like, oh, I don't know, we're gonna do this and that. And it gives them a standard to work on for other agents.
Yeah.
And I know, like you said, in cases sometimes you'll be a little bit like informal and it's all like you kind of know and stuff, but like let's say you're probably even though you kind of have like a close friend, but you don't know your spouse or significant other. Do you still go like this formal or do you go separate?
So this is my baseline. I don't care if it's my mom. I don't care if it's actually this past one was like one of my best friends is his mom. I haven't talked to her for like 6 months. But if it's somebody that I know really really good friend, I show up, suited and booted, and I'm walking through. Business is business. And you walk through. I may not do my full-on presentation, but I'm coming through as a realtor. I'm going to do exactly what I'm going to do with anybody else. You start slacking off and you start not taking it serious. That's how you run up. You're opening the door for somebody else to come in. You're just giving them a reason why they shouldn't use you. If there's any chance that they're not going to use you, just open that door. Don't do it. Show them that you care. Oh, wow, you look good. You know, you know someone, they're like, hey, you know, I'm like, yeah, well, that's my job.
Exactly.
This is what I
This
do.
is my job.
Yeah, what do you know? Like, you do that, right? They have respect for that, and you, like, put it in stone that you're getting it now. But don't ever show up wearing flip flops and shorts and like, you know, because it just gives them a bad taste, like you're not taking them serious, and they're not getting the full experience, and it puts thoughts in their head like, well, I don't know what this guy's taking.
I do agree with that, because I will show property in flip flops and yoga pants. I've done that before to clients that have already, they're my clients.
You
Like,
did that with us, Sarah.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, but showing houses is a little different. It's a little different. But for listings, I will not. I will not for listings, but for showings, I will. You know, I mean, it's like sometimes, and I'll apologize. I'll say, I'm sorry, that sounds so casual today. Most people are like, oh, we don't care. You know, we just want to see this house. But for listings, you do want to, I would never do
Well, for the first time
that.
meeting,
Yeah, I would never do that for a listing. Even if somebody I know, I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't.
It's disrespectful. It's in my opinion, it's disrespectful to, you know, you're gonna be selling something that's six figure property. You're handling something that's a very huge thing for this person, whether they're your friend or they're a stranger. You're still undertaking such a huge thing in their life. I want to know if somebody's taking it serious. If you're not, you're just, it's an injustice. So just show up. Yeah. So, all right. Well, any questions on the listing presentations or what you do at a listing presentation? Anything regarding a listing presentation? Zoom. Yeah, there's multiple templates that you can use. Does that all make sense? Does everything make sense? What else do you want to know? That's good.
You can always practice. You can never practice. I'll be the seller, you be the agent, let's see what you do. I mean.
You take the listing agreement with you just in case they're ready to do it.
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to listing agreement, so the best thing you can do, so this is where I kind of, so if it's something that's going to be easier to comp, like I'll actually pull comps before I look at it. I'll keep them in my bag. I don't know if I'm going to show this out. If I walk in and whatever it is that I was thinking in my head matches this, I'll pull them out. And we'll do the whole thing right then and there.
We've got big issues, we have.
We've got big issues, yeah. If I go in there and it's a shit show, and these numbers are higher than what this thing's gonna go for, I don't even think that's
Right, yeah, that
those
is.
things down.
And also, Chris, I know you're gonna market statistics, is it 70% of the time that multiple sellers will just look for a agent that happen?
I have to pull up the exact time.
But it's not for all this stuff.
It's a very high percentage, yeah.
So usually, you on average, majority of the time, when you're walking in, right, you're keeping that listing. There's only a small portion of that are interviewing others.
Oh, this is another thing that I will tell my client, if they tell me that they are gonna be meeting with some other agents, I'll do a couple things that I'm setting these other agents up for failure. Like, I'll tell them this, no, check this out. I'll tell my clients, I said, okay, now I want you to be aware of this, okay? If somebody else, you feel working with somebody else, that's fine, but just be aware. I'm gonna tell you what some of the tricks are that some of these other agents do, okay? If they come in with a price, I just showed you how I can get to this price. Like if I have my comps and I showed them where my price is at, I just showed you how I'm gonna get to it. If they come in with something crazy pie in the sky, make them show you. If they can't show you, they're full of crap. They're just trying to say whatever they can to get you to sign.
They just wanna get you because they're the highest price.
Right.
And you can bet your bottom dollar that if somebody comes in there, the next agent comes in there with some high in the sky price, and they don't know what they're doing, and this seller hits them with, well, how did you get to that price? They're gonna be stuttering, and that seller's gonna see it so quick. They're gonna call you back up and be like, that was the first time. They were looking out for me. Because they're also telling me what I need to look out for in agents. And then they tell you a couple agents, one of the best things you can do is be like, oh, this agent's pretty good. This one's right here. You probably could watch out for this with them, but for the most part, they're a pretty good agent. This one right here. Oh, they're newer. They're blah, blah, blah. This one over here, you know, like, they're never going to be equal to you, but give good feedback on these things, right? And give them some insight on what to, like, your coming contribution.
And if you do not get a listen, if you do not, because there's all the times when we do not get a listen, I don't get a listen. I am always gracious. I always thank them for the opportunity to take a look at the house, for the private showing, and I always say the beauty of it is, you know, I know the house really well now. Everything's on the MLS. We all have the opportunity to bring a buyer and try and bring a buyer. Do not burn a bridge. If it does not work out with that first agent, I've had agents call me or clients call me and say we should have gone with you in the first place. Now we want to
Now we're having
win.
a conclusion.
Yeah. So
And then here's another thing.
don't be shitty with them.
Here, yeah, don't ever, always absorb, you never know. But here's another thing we can do. This, I've done this, I love it, is I'll tell the seller, and by the way, when this is all said and done, if you feel like I'm gonna be the best fit for you, don't worry about calling the other agents until they can get it all done.
Okay, how many times have you actually done it?
Probably like 2 times. I've done it. The other times, there's one time where they're like, okay, you do it. I was like,
How long are this thing taking to come right up to the point you're like,
who was that lady? Remember that older lady that I was telling you about that? I was like, I don't know, she's in defense. And I was asking you, she's like, yeah, yeah. She thought I would be too happy. I was like, perfect.
Now,
No. I would love to call her. It was a lady that's been around for a little while. She's kind of, a little, sweet. Doesn't have a huge personality. She's kind of like a little bit straightforward. And I was like,
was it Joan?
it might have been, oh, I think it was.
It was Joan.
It was Joan.
John's last name? Yellow?
Yes, it was Joan.
Yeah,
I was about to tell this agent that she's not required anymore. What am I going to expect with this lady? Because she's, I don't know. She's like, oh, yeah. I could go back and say, cool, Chris. I'm just like, what? I can't go back. What's she going to say? There was that, and then there was, what else was there? I want to say there was, just the lady in Nelson's there also got a commercial last night. I did Shawnee's and told her before, and she was one of them. I can't remember anybody else. I remember, and it was, I was like, well, you know, we don't get fired, you know. But anyways, but no, it's, you say that because look, this is, it's funny, but it's a good thing to tell them because if they do pick you, part of picking an agent is also for them having to tell the other agents that they chose somebody else. And if you get that up front, they're like, oh, by the way,
One less thing they have to do.
one less thing they have to do, one less awkward thing they have to do, anything like that, and say, hey, by the way, I do this all the time, by the way. You don't, but you just tell them, hey, it's no big deal, I do this all the time.
I do this all the time.
It's a normal industry. So, if you choose me, don't worry about having to tell the other agents I can tell for you. I will literally take everything from you.
So Chris, if I tell this right now, hey, Chris, are you in this one?
No, we're not making a call for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine, that's fine. I'll call me, I'm like, hello, this is Jackie Grizzly. I like the list that you did. It's just, you have all kinds of people looking at you weird, those like golf tournaments.
That's it.
Just see the way. I've had somebody do that to me though. I had Cindy Fernandez call me and tell me, hey, just so you know, I got this listing and you know, I'm gonna take it from here. And I was like, oh. And she said, if you have any buyers though, go ahead and bring them. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'll get right on that. You know me, I'm all fired up. That's the only time I've ever had that happen. And then I got her back too. I got her back with one of them.
No, the best story is when you and I had that offer, remember with Cindy Fernandez, and we trust her about as far as we could throw her, and we waited, we pinned her down when she was calling her client, and Chris and I, did we walk in or did we?
Well, start off with me. I was like on the question, and the answer was, I'm like, Sarah, I said, call her. And then Sarah calls, she's like, hey, me and Chris are working on this together. We want to know this. And we were both on her. Like, hey, what are you presenting? Hey, this isn't, you got some in your office. It was something from her office.
I said, so we waited for that person to get their offer, and then Chris and I waited, and we confirmed that offer is in, and she knew at that point, if she messed with us, she knew we knew, and we just put that offer in, and we got it. And it was like a $90,000 offer, it wasn't even. Oh, yeah. Chris and I were fighting Cindy Fernandez over a condo on Bel Air.
We're splitting.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money, it's about the end.
When we won, we were just like, yeah, we do, we'll split the drinks too. But yeah, good stuff. Okay,
That was really good, Chris. Very good.
What's a good time to call them with the news? Like,
Because by the time we get agent,
yeah.
oh, I call like 6
we did not you got it?
Yeah.
Before.
Now, when she did that, this
Immediately. As soon as it's sunny.
And
Okay.
Because you don't want them calling your client.
it's a violation, once you sign it, they're calling your client a violation.
I see.
It'll be a lot.
Yeah. So you'll have to call me your Max, and he's not in the office now. He's like, can't wait.
Call people at 5 a.m. when they're on, go to the gym and give a nice little call.
Yes, I have. It's been a while since I had the buyer, but yes, I have, because I remember I'm trying to remember the details of it. There was a buyer that I had, and I don't remember who it was. It's been like probably 4 years, like what happened, where she asked if I've ever had to travel when I had a buyer. Like having to call the agent to stop. I've done it multiple times actually, because if your client says that this person keeps bugging me, they keep sending me stuff, they keep, you absolutely have to them multiple times. I called them and said, hey,
They don't want to work with you anymore, they're working with me now. I just gotta let you know, so they stop. It's better if the client will tell the other agent, hey, thanks for everything, but I'm working with Chris now.
yeah, because the buyer side, it's too easy for, we all have it happen where a buyer just stops answering, right? You know, on social media, they're
I just got you, so I know.
yeah, it's like, oh, you heard one of those 18 that I sent, I showed you. So, I haven't done it that much, but there's a couple times.
That kind of happened with some like, I told you about it, but there was this.
That's he's the master of buyer stealer.
Anyway, and she's like, I already have an agent. I'm like, okay, well, I can mind if I leave it in your house. And she's like, sure. I invite her to the open house I do on Sunday, right? And she shows up. And she's like, oh, well, I don't really want to work with them. I think it's Alfred or Alfred. Yeah.
He's a part-time agent, I think.
So like, I'm packing up signs, and he rolls by, and he was like, oh, you're the guy that's working with Lori. I'm like, oh no, I'm not working with Lori. That's your client. She came to my house. It's like, so your house is like, how do you make that a living?
You can't be there. No. There's no way. I mean, if somebody tries to steal my client, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah.
But there's really no way to make that right. I mean, I'm not, if I was out there and you were talking to my client, I mean, you're not gonna make that right with me unless you stop talking to my client.
Okay.
Right.
I got you.
So it's all fair. I mean, I just feel like too, like if they're not, you know, it's okay if I can send you stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, send me.
No, tell them that you say you're open to me, send you stuff. I had a conversation earlier with somebody, well, work with somebody, but you never know that, if you're consistent. Right. Yeah, if somebody steps up, they're gonna reach out to you.
9 times out of 10, the other agent's not gonna be on top of their shit. So if you are, you know that somebody is.
There's a point where it's too much though, because I was the buyer up there and I chose a different agent because she kind of left me alone to think about things rather than this other one.
Or like yourself first.
Yeah, like just too much, like twice a day, every day.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Sending me listings. Yeah, well, she called me once a day. And she was like, text me today.
No. That's overkill. I think that's what I was like, yeah.
And it's trying to get every point, email, text, call, everything, it was too much, I'm like.
No.
I mean, I do with my clients, when a listing pops up, that I think is there, I just text it.
Right.
I don't even say anything, I just text it to them. Unless hasn't been anything for a while, and I'm thinking, I'm like, hey, there's just nothing on the market, I might send you a text.
You're someone who I forgot about.
Right, and I'm not gonna call somebody every single day.
No, that's a little tough. I mean, in our market, you're not gonna have that many houses in the top. I mean, somebody, they're gonna have
She called me the other day and said, this situation, oh, I moved back home, I'm no longer looking. Well, if you do decide to move back to Stockton, you know who it is.
Did you get a license?
Yeah, no, I didn't think different that time of day. I said, oh, thanks, Stacey, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, well.
Yeah, no, that's, if there are a lot of houses that are coming up for a client of yours, then you're too general on your, it's not that hard to narrow it down a little bit, so you don't have so much. You don't want to go far and overwhelm them, and then they're gonna be pissed because they're gonna think that you're stupid, because half the, we already know what they're wanting, and 3/4 of those houses aren't even gonna work, and it's like, dude, yeah. So in this market, there's only a couple that are gonna hit a week probably. They're gonna
Yeah.
So, and non-vendors will take care of the criteria is very, very loose. Dude, you'll have those people who ask for like a week. Show them the house, they'll be.
Well, I told her I was looking for a condo on the water, and she was sending me houses like 3:30.
Exactly. So you have to be careful with what you're sending out. You don't want them getting stuff that clearly doesn't meet your criteria. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
I still have the